Hey everyone, it's Sammy from Sammy's Sweet Life, and I went to sit down to film this, and then I was like, oh, I need to get my phone for a certain reason. I couldn't remember who left the question that's prompting this video. I thought it was Sarah or Lynn, but I wasn't exactly sure, so I went to get my phone, walked all the way back here because it was on the other side of the house, and when I got here and sat down, I was like, oh crap, why did I need my phone? So I've been sitting here for like 10 minutes not remembering why I need to look at my phone. So I was like, oh, forget it. I'll just start filming the video. And then I turn on the camera, say my hi, Sammy's Sweet Life thing. And then I was like, oh, I remember why. And so I looked up the comment. And so it was Lynn. So Lynn, thank you for this question. She asked for a countertop follow-up. So we do have countertop news. It is mostly resolved. Sort of resolved. As you can see by my what's for dinner videos, we still have all the same countertops, so it's just kind of mildly resolved. Let's start from the beginning. If you're new here, we did build this house. I vlogged along the way of all of it, starting way back before we even purchased the land, broke ground, and now we're living in the house, and I definitely feel like this is my dream home. It's where we were supposed to be. I love this house. Every day I think how much I love this house. And we had picked out these gorgeous countertops. I'll insert clips as I'm talking. And that's a dump truck turning around. So we are in a construction zone. There's more houses being built around us. But we picked out everything. I picked out the most gorgeous countertops. They're actually supposed to be quartzite, which is a naturally occurring stone, and it comes in various colors like granite. It's very similar to granite, but it's supposed to be possibly less porous than granite, so you don't have to seal it every year. And also it's supposed to be stronger than granite. So it's supposed to be like top of the line, better than granite. And that's the pricing we paid. We paid like a level 3 or 4 price for this. It was very, very expensive. We're talking multiple thousands of dollars for this upgrade to get this quartzite in the kitchen and our master bathroom. So we've got the 2 vanities in the bathroom, the windowsills, a ledge around the bathtub, and then a shower seat. So it's all the heck over our bathroom and all over our kitchen. We got this quartzite. It was gorgeous. I still think it's gorgeous. I loved the color. It matched perfectly with everything we picked out. Basically, like, we planned everything around this countertop because I wanted gray tones, and we made sure everything matched this because we do have an open concept house. So the countertops are front and center, like anywhere you are in the main part of the house, you see the countertops. So I really wanted them to be gorgeous. We paid premium price for this, and then just days into actually moving in and getting into the house, we started having problems with the countertops, and they started etching. Like, you could see like water droplets that would not be removed. And these countertops are supposed to be completely sealed. Like, this is not something that's supposed to happen. You're not supposed to get etching, especially on a quartzite countertop that's supposed to be super non-porous, and we're getting like etch marks. So I had cleaned out our shower. I'd set the shampoo bottles on that little shower ledge thing around the bathtub. It's like a half wall with a ledge around it. I moved the shampoo bottles back in, and it left rings, and those rings are still there. To this day, they're still there. They're etched in the countertop, and it was just like wet shampoo bottles sitting down there for however long it took me to clean. Actually, I wasn't cleaning the shower. I actually was sealing the grout in the shower. So you seal the grout line. So we were sealing it. It took like maybe an hour to do that in the bathtub, and then I moved the shampoo bottles back in, and the etches were there, and they're permanent, and I walk by them and I could see them every day. And so we're like, this isn't right. Something's not right with this. And we, lo and behold, after looking into it more, we got marble. So it's not quartzite. And you know, I have 2 small kids. At the time I was pregnant when we picked it out, and I was thinking I'm gonna have a newborn and then, you know, 2 small kids. I want this countertop to be really the best, easiest, low maintenance countertop. And I paid the premium price for that. And that's not what we were given. We were given marble, and it was like a slap in the face when we realized we were given marble, because marble is the most finicky, most delicate, softest, most porous, most stain inducing type of countertop that you can have. And it looks it like we have etches everywhere. I've shown in clips, and I'll include those clips in this video since I'm bringing it all up again. So I just cleaned the dishes. You can see some water droplets. I have to like wipe up every water droplet, make sure it's not being left on the counter. They're laughing. They're just playing. I just have to check the surface, make sure everything's good, which is obnoxious to have to go around and wipe everything. I'll show you guys some of the etching. Like we found a few where we just set a drink on the counter. What is it? You can see there's a ring right over here somewhere. There's a ring. There it is. It's hard to see in the surface. And then there's lines going across some places where, I don't know, we scooted something. And you can see all the splotches. Like the whole countertop's completely etched and splotched at this point. It looks like absolute garbage. And then more lines. I don't know what all these lines are from. You can see them. They're just everywhere. And I'll show you guys. They're just playing. They're being loud. I'll show you guys the shims that are just cracked off. And there's the fiberglass backing, which is set to reinforce. Which you shouldn't have to reinforce it. It's harder than granite. So you see, like, it's just pokey and broken off, and like I can feel, I don't know if I can show you, but they're sticking out past the edge of the counter. And so this one too, like WTF. They just look like absolute garbage there too. So like these are things I didn't think to look at with a newborn. I just wanted my house to be done correctly. I was gonna say, there's a shim that's just broken, sticking out. And I'm trying to look for writing, but I don't see much in here. That. I'll show you guys the bathroom. Never mind the mess, but hopefully you can see the etching on here. This was here before we even had it. See all this? This is like the line of the etching. All the way around. Basically, all of this is etched over to like here. So I don't know if somebody washed out their crap, like their paintbrushes and stuff, but this was here before we even got it. This next clip is gonna be a little bit hard to film because I'm gonna have to like get up and down, and we've got stuff like everywhere right now because of the grout staining. I could threw the rug in there. So I'm gonna flip the camera and show you guys, like I really noticed it because I soak in the tub. I will sit with my head there and look. Like laying down. Look at that, there's part. And I was like, WTF. I started complaining and asking. I was like, they didn't finish these. And red, like red is my least favorite color. And it's like pulled over to the side. So the side actually looks red. This side. Lots of writing there with red. So this is a crack. And they did end up like sealing this top part, but this bottom part, you can feel that crack. And then also this, like this is brand spanking new how they install it. Completely cracked and chipped. Then walking over here in the windowsill, they got one and they filled it in with, I don't know, whiteout. I don't know. It just looks terrible. And like you can feel the space, and then they covered it up with clear silicone that you can like rub off of there. So it's all the way down. And it just looks like total slop. And then my sink has one of the worst cracks. It's not even like even. You can see like it wasn't even lined up. They didn't even try to hide this one, and they just covered it with silicone. Again, like I can just peel the silicone off of it. I've tried to leave them here so that when they come in and out and argue with me about it, that they can see how sloppy of a job they did. And then also my sink is cracked. Right over here. It's got cracks along it. So they're gonna have to replace. I'm really hoping you can see what I see. It's been 1 month. Do you see it? That's a circle. And then also, right there is a circle. Right there. Hopefully you can see lines etched in. Lines etched in. 1 month, okay? 1 freaking month. It's completely a marble. There's no doubt about it. Looking like water spot, but I think that'll probably be okay. Like, couple lines etched in. I don't know what's going on with it, but it's horrible. You can even see, like, if you're looking at it, it looks blotchy. On the lighter colored parts, it's already like etching. It's been 1 month. So that catches you up to where we were. We argued back and forth with the builder. They sent out the stone people, and the stone people were like, yeah, this is marble. What were you expecting? I was like, we were told it was quartzite. And he's like, well, we kind of call some of them quartzite, some of them marble. It could be both. And I was like, no, like they're actually two completely different things. Like they're not the same thing. It's a common thing actually that marbles get mislabeled as quartzite because quartzite is a high-end thing and people want quartzite and people pay top dollar for quartzite. And a lot of people like me completely turned off by marble because it's so finicky. I don't want something that's gonna etch. If I set a cup on the counter, I don't wanna ring permanently on my counter. And so this is like triggering for me. I was so mad, so mad. I don't know how I functioned when I was so mad about this at the beginning because it was like just days of me fuming about this because I have rings on my brand new multi-$1,000 countertops that I got in my beautiful home. And the funny thing is all of this is happening during pandemic time. So I'm like, man, I'm like the most stuck up, spoiled brat that this is what I have as my worst thing right now. So I was like kind of beating myself up over getting so mad about it because it's such a small thing, but at the same time, it's so much money. Like my husband works really hard at his job and for them to take our money and give us these countertops. Yes, they're beautiful. Like it's the thing I picked out. It's the swatch. They lied about what it was. And that's where I was getting so mad at them, like super mad because they came back and they're like, well, this is what you picked. Like multiple times I went back and forth with the guy. I was like, you're not getting it. I picked this countertop because I was completely lied to. There's no way in hell I would have picked this countertop if somebody had mentioned the word marble. If anybody had even whispered the word marble, we would have run in the complete opposite direction because I picked everything for this house to be the least maintenance possible choice that I could pick. Like we picked the floors. They're wood look tile floors because I didn't want to deal with hardwood because hardwood scratches and hardwood is really delicate. We've had hardwood in the past and it was just messy, especially with kids or with dogs, which we plan on having a dog at some point again. So it's just something we didn't want to do. We got tile. It's mostly indestructible, really hard surface that I don't have to worry about scratching and nicking very much. But I did the same thing with my intention for the countertops. I wanted the least maintenance option and they gave me the most high maintenance option that I never ever would have picked. All of that to say that's the backstory. So I went back and forth with the guys for weeks. I was like, I was freaking lied to. Like he wasn't getting it or he was just not saying anything to pacify me at all. He was just saying, you know, that's what you picked. So my hands are kind of tied. It's what you picked. I was like, technically it is what I picked, but you completely misrepresented it. You completely lied about it. You mislabeled it and it was like fraud at this point. Like I was saying the words like fraud, deception, deceptive practices, all these things because of what we dealt with the other house, which you can go watch those videos. I know my legal crap. And so I'm like, I know where this is going if you're gonna keep doing this roundabout thing where it's like, well, that's what you picked, so meh. And they're trying to tell me that natural stones have these properties and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I did not pick marble. And so the guy was like, well, you know, your contract doesn't say anything about quartzite. Like, do you have documentation for anything saying quartzite? And I was like, well, I wrote quartzite in my planner notes when we were actually at the design center looking at their model kitchen. Like one of the model kitchens has this exact countertop and they told me it was quartzite multiple times. And then I also have an email back and forth. If you guys kept up with all of my stuff, I actually went back and forth with the sales rep multiple times for like, I don't know, a couple of weeks getting pricing for things. And I said, what's this quartzite? And she says, this quartzite costs blah. And she even checked with the design center because she didn't know how they priced out quartzite. So she had to look and see how they priced out the quartzite. She said quartzite in her emails back to me, didn't correct me and say marble or anything because the design center is freaking calling it quartzite. They're calling it quartzite, they're passing it off as quartzite, and it's a complete scam. Okay, so we got that far. I sent him that and like didn't say anything. Like didn't acknowledge that they actually had called it quartzite. And so he's kind of blowing me off after back and forth. He keeps blowing me off. And so Johnny was livid. Johnny's like, I'm going to consult an attorney. And so we had a consultation with an attorney, and they're like telling us, you know, you guys have the perfect definition of a case here because it was completely misrepresented. And he's telling me all the things, all the stuff we have. And we're thinking we're not going to go down this route again, I hope, because we had the deal with the legal stuff last time. And I'm like, it's just not worth it. It's not worth the money to do this. It'll cost us more to do this. And Johnny's like, I don't care. Me off and I want them to pay for it. So he did the complete opposite of me. Whereas last time I was like, I don't care how much money it costs. I want them to pay. I want them to burn and we'll go down this route. And this time I'm like, no, I don't care. I don't care if we're losing money on the countertops. I don't want to go down the legal route. It was so stressful and all this stuff. And he's like, I want them to burn, baby, burn. He's like, let's pull the trigger for this. And so I wrote them one last email and was like, you guys have blown me off. You've insulted my intelligence by completely not acknowledging the fact that we were lied to, like flat out lied to. That's the whole entire problem, is we were lied to. It's not that I picked marble and then I decided I didn't like it. I was supposed to get quartzite. I paid for quartzite. That's what I wanted. And that is not what we received. So I think it's complete BS. I wrote it very kindly, by the way. I'm saying it really rudely now, but I wrote it out just black and white. It was not emotional in my email. I was like, it's really disrespectful that you would insult my intelligence and try to pass this off something else. Like, I misremembered. We had 3 people in the room, Johnny, me, and our realtor, who all remember it being called quartzite, and no mention of marble except our marble look tiles. That's the only marble mention that we had the entire design center, and we have 3 people to verify this. None of our paperwork says marble in it, except our cultured marble tops upstairs. They're just like the standard thing. It says granite. So if you want to get technical and look at our paperwork, it says granite. So you can replace our stuff with granite because that's what our paperwork says, but it doesn't say marble in the paperwork. So it's really obvious that we have rights here. We consulted an attorney and they say we have a really, really strong, basically slam dunk case against you. And Johnny wants to go through with it. So if he wants to go the legal route, it's gonna cost you more money and it's gonna cost me more money. And I'd rather not do that. So let's do the right thing here and replace our countertops with something else. And he writes back, he apologized at this point and said, I'm sorry if there was a misunderstanding. Like, no, there was a misunderstanding. There wasn't an if there was. You knew it all along. You've been blowing me off and treating me like crap this whole time, trying to just save your bottom line instead of doing the right thing. And I didn't like this guy at all, clearly. You can see I don't like this guy. I just felt like he brushed me off. He's like, okay, I apologize if there was a miscommunication. Let me go back to my people and see what we can do. And I waited for him to respond. And a day or a couple days later, he wrote back saying, how about we refund all of your countertop money? And I said, heck yes, refund us. We'll be done with this, dealing with you people. One of the original things he said is he would get us in touch with his countertop people and they will give you like a builder rate. So I explored that. I was like, okay, how much does it cost for like a few different types of quartz and a granite? I asked a few different things and they were all more than we paid. Even with their builder pricing, which was completely insulting. It took off a couple $100s, which I know builders get better pricing than that. It was just really insulting. So I already had seen like what their countertop people were going to try to charge us for their special pricing, which was just a complete insult. But this way, getting our money back, we can do it, first of all, on our own time. Second of all, I can choose from anything, not just whatever their choices were. And third, I don't have to do it right now. It goes back to our own time because we have 2 little kids. The whole purpose, the whole reason we bought a house brand new is we wanted it brand spanking new. We didn't want to have to do any upgrades or anything immediately because we just wanted to be able to move into our house and live and it be perfect. And so we had lots of problems. They had to come in and out and fix things, which is kind of eye-opening for the building process. I probably could do a whole video on that part, but I did not want to have a construction zone. Like, it would be really basically ripping up our entire master bathroom because it's part of our shower, it's part of our bathtub, it's the windowsills, it's both countertops. It would just be a disaster to rip it all out and redo all of it. And I just didn't want to have to do it right now. So it was the perfect remedy in my mind. Yes, the countertops are going to be replaced at some point, but it doesn't have to be next month or whatever. And I was stressed out about them saying yes, like, yes, we'll replace everything. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's going to be days or weeks of them in and out construction zoning, especially with a little baby. I just didn't want to sign up for that. So when they offered our money back, I jumped at the chance. So we did get our money back for the countertops. We do 100% definitely want to replace the countertops in the bathroom. There are some chips and nicks that I had shown in the video. We will replace those semi-soon, like the next couple of years. I definitely want to replace them, but not yet. I have a tiny baby. We're dealing with pandemic times. I'm in like survival mode right now. I'm not going to start a construction project in the middle of all this. So that was part of it. And then the kitchen was the other part. And right now I'm thinking we're just gonna live with the kitchen for now. Like, yeah, they made a huge mistake, but it matches with our flow. And I'm still mad about the whole thing. Like, they lied to me. I fell in love with this countertop, and the countertop is so freaking finicky, and I have to wipe up every single little dot of water, and it's infuriating and it's annoying to have to do. Like, I wash my hands, get a couple of water droplets on the edge, I clean it with a towel immediately because the water droplets etch the countertop, just plain old water. So I clean up every spill, every little drop of anything immediately, and I have to like baby them hardcore, which I did not want to have to do. I'm mostly like in the habit of it now, but if I stop and think about how obnoxious it is, it pisses me off. But all in all, they did end up doing the right thing. It did cost us a consultation with an attorney. We had to pay their hourly rate to have that consultation. And thankfully it was done after that. So it cost us a couple $100 and we got our money back. And so our countertops are free. I'm just trying to consider them like we got the standard option of countertops. Yeah, it's not perfect. It's crappy. Like everything that happened was crappy, but eventually they did make it right. When push came to shove, they absolutely made it right. And I can't hold any grudges for them now, and we can replace them later because we got our money back. And I'm looking at them like the free standard countertops. We just got prettier versions, less strong versions, because the standard was a granite. It would have been a lot stronger and more durable. I wouldn't have to wipe up every last little drop. But for being free, now I have a different mindset on it. Like, yeah, it can still really aggravate me and make me mad, but now that it's free, I'm like, oh, I have free countertops. So I don't have that anger about it like I did until I like start talking about it. I get angry all over again. But for the most part, every day I'm like, oh, look at our free countertops. Aren't they lovely? And I try to look on the positive side of it, because when all was said and done, I didn't have to pay for the countertops. So I am thankful for that. One day we're definitely replacing all of the bathroom. And so with the bathroom thing, we have a framed shower, and I wanted frameless, but they wanted way too much money at the design center for it. And I know it'll be expensive later, but it just was not in our budget at that point in time. We also didn't want to roll it into the mortgage when it's something that you can fix later. Redo later. So whenever we do replace all of the countertops, we're going to get a frameless shower at the same time. So it'll be a huge, huge bathroom upgrade. But like I said, like we planned all our colors around this countertop. And so when we were first getting into this, I forgot to tell you guys the soy sauce bottle story. I'll tell you that part of it too. But when we were first getting into this, and I'm thinking, oh, they'll do the right thing. They're going to replace our countertops before all of the like back and forth. I was looking at countertops and not seeing anything I liked as far as the color. Like I love the color of this, and I love the variation in it. And I just wasn't seeing anything like that in granite or quartzite. I was only finding quartz, and I just really didn't want quartz. I really wanted what I thought was quartzite or a granite. I just wasn't finding anything that I loved. And so I was kind of down about like, oh, there's some quartzes that I like, but nothing like this. Nothing like the one I picked out. It was the one for me as far as like my ideal. So I was just really sad about it. And now I don't have to worry about that part because I can replace it later whenever we find the right thing, whenever I want to. When the kids are a little bit older, we'll cross that bridge. And now we don't have to do it immediately, where I was feeling like, oh, they're going to come back and say, oh, we're going to replace them. You have like a week to pick out what you want. And I was kind of kind of upset and stressed out about that part. So now I can breathe easy. We got our money back. We can replace them on our own time. And right now they're just free. And so I'm thinking of it also as like, these countertops are gonna live through the tiny baby stages, and then we'll get brand new shiny ones when the kids are a little older. So that was like the best option, which didn't even cross my mind. Like, I didn't ask for our money back. I asked for them to replace our countertops because they put in something that they lied about. So I'm really, really happy with the option they gave us. I think it's the best possible solution they could have given us. And I'm happy that when, like I said, push came to shove, they did the right thing and got it taken care of for us. So that was our only thing that we went back and forth with them. Every other thing, they have been super apologetic, very quick to fix anything. And we've been dealing with a great builder, except this one thing. And it was not our building manager. It was the guy above him or the guy above him. It was somebody up higher. And he did the smooth talking thing. When he came in our house already, I just didn't like the way he was talking. I definitely felt like he was like trying to talk down to me as a woman, and I was like, oh heck no, like, we're not gonna play that game. We're not gonna play games. Like, I misremembered. Oh, you must have remembered wrong, little lady. I just don't take kindly to that behavior. I'm definitely glad it got taken care of for now. So I said, like, in the beginning, it's mostly resolved. Like, it's resolved through the builder, but our part of redoing the countertops at a later date is still to be determined. And it's just not on my mind now because we dealt with the builder part of it. I can live with the countertops for a couple of years and learn to love the kitchen ones or replace them when I absolutely cannot stand them anymore. I go back and forth between it still. Like, we've been here 8 months, so this was like the first 5 or 6 months dealing with this. We got our money back, and then the last couple months I've had a chance to be like, oh, they're free countertops. I feel differently about them when they're free and not very, very expensive. So I am coming to terms with them. We might keep them in the kitchen for a long time. I don't know. I haven't decided yet if we're gonna replace them, but I definitely want to replace the bathroom ones. Like I said, that will be done at some point, but nowhere near now. I've got one other huge project I want to do. I want to redo our laundry room. Right now it's just a bar and a shelf. I want to completely redo it as the uppers and lower cabinets, add the sink. I also want to change our little valet entryway from the garage area into a mudroom. That'll all be a big project at some point. I would love to do that ideally before Stella goes to school so that there's like a place for their backpacks and lunch boxes and paperwork and all that stuff. Because right now the valet kind of works, but it kind of sucks at the same time. So we want a dedicated mudroom area right there. And that's kind of a big endeavor. So that's going to be on our list as far as house upgrade and change things. Just the master bathroom and then the mudroom, laundry room area. We'll do that, knock it all out at the same time. And that's pretty much it as far as like actual plans for house things, because we got exactly what we wanted. It's almost perfect. Everything in the house I just love, and I'm starting to love the countertops more. I love the color, I just hate how finicky they are. So now that they're free, I'm coming more to terms with them, but I think that's pretty much it. It's just countertop drama. Everything else has been fine. I'm pretty sure I had vlogged where they had stained our grout, and when they stained it, they sealed it, so we don't have to seal the grout on the floor. We just had to seal the grout in the showers and around the bathtub. So all of the grout has been sealed except Stella's little bathroom. She is in what will be our guest room. It has an ensuite, and that tile I haven't sealed because it's right off her room. I didn't want her getting fumes, so that's the only one that hasn't been done yet, but we hardly use that bathroom anyway, so it's fine. Okay, I forgot to tell you the soy sauce thing. I went to plug in my thing on my computer. I'm like brain dead lately. I actually did remember. I wanted to tell you the soy sauce bottle part of this. So early on when we are thinking, you know, they're etching, we're reading about it, we're figuring out that they are in fact marble. Johnny and I talk about it on and off, and I start talking about it and he's like, you know, they're completely marble, right? And I was like, I have a feeling that they're marble before anybody had come and confirmed it. He's like, yeah, I rubbed a soy sauce bottle on the countertop and proved that they're marble. I was like, what? Like, I didn't know this was a thing. Basically, you take a glass bottle and you rub it on the edge of a countertop. This is a tip for if you are going to like a stone manufacturer or whatever, a stone countertop place, they can be mislabeled. Like, it's just a thing that the quartzite and the marbles can be mislabeled. You're supposed to bring a glass bottle and rub the edges of the countertops to see if they leave a mark on the glass bottle. That means they're hard and they're the right countertops. if you rub them with the glass bottle and the countertops start powdering away, you know it's marble. So he rubbed the soy sauce bottle on the edge of the countertop started powdering away. So we're livid. So he had done that and I was like, okay, show me, like show me this. And sure enough, he rubs it across. There's powder residue you can feel off of the countertop that came off, because a soy sauce bottle is stronger than our countertop. So that's the kind of countertop we're dealing with. That's what I have pretty much everywhere. And so when the stone guy was actually here from the company who put in our countertops, he said, yeah, the running joke is you slide a piece of paper across a marble countertop and it scratches your marble countertop. And it's like, well, it's definitely not ha-ha funny, but it's definitely interesting that that's the joke about marble, is it's so delicate, even a piece of paper can scratch it. And that's what we're dealing with. Yeah, that's like all the house news I have. Thank you so much, Lynn, for your question. I did want to address it at some point. I just kind of thought about it and then forgot about it again. So thank you for bringing it to my attention again. I gave you guys the update. I hope you guys like this video. I am ultimately happy with how it ended up. I know what I want actually. I said I didn't know what countertops I wanted. I did find one I liked for the bathroom, basically just white. And then for the kitchen, I'm still like, if I had to pick something, I wouldn't know what to pick. So it's still completely up in the air if we'll ever replace those. But I'm glad we got our money back, because I felt so deceived and so taken advantage of with that. And it just brought back all those memories of the house firehouse where we totally got taken advantage of and they were totally sleazing us. And I had that same feelings about it this time. I just had that feeling, and it's such a triggering feeling to think that somebody totally fleeced you and tried to take advantage of you. And other than that, I feel like they were super helpful, polite. Like even when we're in the design center, and the sales lady even was like, you can always do the laundry room. Like you don't have to pay us to do the laundry room. They sell the same cabinets at Lowe's, so you can always get the same cabinets that match the rest of the house. Like they were giving us tips and tricks like that to kind of save us money, which you don't usually think the salespeople are gonna say things like that to you, but they were like pretty genuine about everything. And that's why the countertop thing was so anger inducing, because I felt like everything else they were like totally on the straight and narrow, told us the honest truth, saved us money in places, and then they totally scammed us on this thing, and it felt dirty, it felt gross. So I'm glad that they resolved it ultimately. It just took a few months and a lot of angry moments for me, but I'm glad it's done, and I'm glad I can share it with you guys. So I hope you guys like this video. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.